This is the Funny Mummies podcast, the podcast for people that hate parenting podcasts. I'm Hatty Ashdown, comedian, writer, actress and mother to two very lively boys. Each show, I'm joined by funny mummies from the world of comedy, arts and everyone who can help us in this crazy world of parenting. So settle in as we find the funny side of parenting and being bloody great women. Hello, welcome to the Funny Mummies podcast. I'm Hatty Ashdown, your host, and my co-host today, she is the toner to my bleach. Oh boy, would I love to get my hair done. She is, of course, Gemma Beagley, and so this is, I normally let her say hello there, but I'm not now. This is the last in our series of TV mums, and what a last TV mum we have for you. She's an actress who has a long list of credits playing those characters that you go, I liked her, I hope I see her in something else. Well, she is about to become a name everyone will have on their lips and maybe even tattooed. Not on the lips, I don't know. Most will know her for Louise in Detectorists, Monica in ITV's Action Team, recently in the new film Military Wives, which I still haven't seen, but I cried just at the trailer, and a host of other credits. But today we are mostly celebrating her as Mum Terri in BBC's King Gary. It's the very funny and lovely Laura Checkley.
Hey.
Oh,
thank you.
Hello, Laura. Hello, Gemma. Sorry. It's because Gemma... I do that bit because we're still, for anyone listening in the future.
I am. I'm listening now.
You're listening. We're still on Zoom, and when I go mention you, Gemma, it's so like a delay for you just to go hello. So I thought I'd stop the hello, but I forgot to tell you.
That's fine, unless I start saying hello towards the end of one of your sentences. Just cut you off.
Yeah, just do that. Sorry, admin out the way. Laura, thank you. I'm so excited to have you on.
Hello.
At last.
To be on. Thank you for having me.
So we'll just to sort of wake us all up and sort of get you in the frame of mind. We do a little quick fire round, like we used to have on Saturday morning TV when we were kids. Yeah. And they say, "Oh, what do you like? Sausage. What do you like? Mash or chips?" That sort of thing.
This is a nightmare for me because I'm a Libra and I'm so indecisive. So I'll try and keep it as quick round as I can.
You're going to be like Tanya Moody was like that for Motherland. She was terrible. She was like, "What are you doing to me?" Okay, so texting or phone chat? Phone call.
Texting.
Oh yeah, right. Okay. I'm always like, we'll go back to that. Dinner and a show or dancing till the night bus home?
Oh, nowadays dinner and a show will do me.
It's hard, isn't it? Indie night or house night?
House. You're babysitting a toddler and they do a poo in the bath. Do you A, scoop it out with cups, get the baby out and hose them down, or take a photo and show their mum? Take a photo and show their mum for sure. I've got a funny poo story about scooping a poo, but I'll tell it another time.
Oh no, please! This is the last one, and then I want to hear it. This is just a question, actually. Do you have any babysitting tricks if the kids give you grief?
I just pull loads of faces. That usually works up until they're about 5, and then they just think I'm an idiot. Right. I pull loads of faces. I've got quite a rubbery face. That seems to go down quite well. I used to teach kids, actually, so I know you've got to change up quick. Did
you?
Yeah. I used to teach at PQA, Pauline Quirk Academy. You ever heard of it?
Oh, ding, 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 ding,
ding, ding. We should have a bell every time Pauline Quirk is mentioned on this podcast.
Why does she always get mentioned?
I don't know. She just comes up a lot.
That is so funny.
We have these things. Talking about cleaners and Pauline Quirk are two of the things that for some reason her name will come into a podcast so much. I don't know, it started, the host has asked you to start your video. Start my video. Oh, no, sorry. My video keeps going off for some reason.
Yeah,
we, yeah, why is that? You can hear me though.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, finish it.
Yeah.
A bit.
Well, I think it started from seeing the, like, you know, on the back of the bus, like
Yes,
the Pauline Quirk Academy.
Yeah,
and
because
then,
her face is in the queue of the Quirk.
Oh, yeah.
And you would only know that if you worked for PQA.
so, oh God, so many questions. Oh my gosh. So,
I know Pauline, actually. She's lovely. Like
Is
the
she?
nicest
so
lady you
pleased.
could ever hope to meet. Yeah, she's a cracker.
because obviously we talked about her in Birds of a Feather, because we were like, oh, well, that's another mum. And then we were like, no, was she a mum in Birds of a Feather? Because obviously Linda Robinson's mum, she
Robson,
talks
yeah.
about...
Yeah, Linda Robson's the mum, isn't she, in it? But yeah, she's just at the auntie, isn't she? I don't think she's got a kid in Birds of a Feather, Pauline's character.
No, and I watched it loads, but I was like, had a blank on these things. I was like, oh no. So she came up then. So yeah, we just love her. We just love her. One day maybe we'll get sponsored by the Pauline Quirk Academy. I think that might be a perfect fit, Gemma. So yeah. So I guess so. What sort of ages was you? Because that's quite small up to. Is it quite?
Yeah, so you'd go like, they would be like, they went right from the thing, they were, smallest were like called the Poppets, and they were really tiny, like, you know, toddlers, like 2, 3, very cute. And then you'd go right up to sort of 18. So every Saturday morning, every Saturday, whole day, that was my life for quite a long time.
Oh,
and then gigging at night.
yes, because you started out, would you say, well, you didn't start, because I know you got your massive theatre background, which I didn't mention in your credits, but obviously you a very massive theatre background, and then stand-up. I mean, because we did a gig together very long time ago, but we didn't know each other then, but we worked out that we both know...
loads of mutual friends.
Yes. And when I was having a bit of research, I won't mention your Edinburgh spank is on YouTube. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did actually. It's about the only thing that survived. I think I took the rest down. I thought, I'll leave that out. That's all right.
Oh, but it's brilliant. No, it's brilliant. And it's you double act Checkley and Bush. I didn't know that.
Yeah, we were called Checkley and Bush. We did like 3 Edinburghs.
Did you?
But my comedy partner Bush, she was in Bad Girls for years actually. She played Tina in the Kitchens.
Oh, of course she did.
Yeah. So when we went up to Edinburgh, I was sort of doing all right in theatre, and she'd obviously not long been out of Bad Girls and stuff, and we just sort of like couldn't believe that no one would come and see our show. And so it was quite something. It was quite humbling actually going up there and starting. And sort of we started again. It was we were starting our careers all over, because I left theatre behind and she was giving comedy a go. But yeah, we did 3 Edinburghs, but we were older coming to it. We were older coming to comedy, and we got to the point where we were just, as you know, just spending too much money and getting in loads of debt. And we were just at that age where, because we'd come into it a bit later, we kind of went like, I can't do this anymore. I need a life. Like,
yeah.
So yeah, we parted ways, but we still do a bit of writing together every now and
then.
Do you? Yeah. But actually, as we just parted ways, that's when I landed a comedy drama called Edge of Heaven, which was on ITV. It flopped. It only did 1 series, but it sort of got me going. Signed with a good agent, and then I was going up for more comedy, and that's it really. It just sort of.
So you'd never really done TV before then?
No, adverts. Done loads of adverts. Actually, funny enough, playing young mums, I seemed to hit this sort of casting bracket. Yeah, so I'd done like loads. I randomly just got loads of adverts in a row, playing young mums and things. And, it was nice for the old wallet, and it certainly got me out of all that debt from Edinburgh and stuff. But, I did 4 lines here and there, a few little guest parts on things. But, and then got Edge of Heaven when I was like 33, I think. And then just slowly climbing up the ladder, and now I'm 41 and King Gary happened, and it's changed my life really.
Well, and you're bloody brilliant in it. And so let's talk about that. So you play Terri, and who she is the mother of Teddy. That's right, yes. Terri and Teddy.
Terri and Teddy King.
What's he, about 10 years old, something like that?
Yeah, he's meant to be about 10. Yeah, but I think Riley's 12 now.
Right. And have you played quite a few mums before then on but not.
No, not yet. Do you know what? I really, funnily enough, when I say about playing the young mums in adverts, like I'd have a kid in the advert and they'd be about 6 or 7. I remember the first time I got a young mum and I thought, I'm not sure I'm going to get this because this, the kid in this is like 6, 7, 8. I don't think I look old enough to have a 6, 7, 8-year-old. And then I got the part. And recently, actually, I just did a guest part on Brassic, which is going to be out some point this year. That I've got 3 grown-up sons in it. And I thought when I went up for, and you get self-taped, so you think, I'm never going to get this. They're going to go for someone older. And I got the part. And when I went up for it, I'm never going to get this. Three, sort of guys in their sort of late teens or whatever. Anyway, they ended up changing it because they actually did think I looked a bit young to them, thinking like my brothers and stuff. But yeah, it's quite a wake-up call. And you're getting a bit older, you'll feel like you don't look it.
Yeah.
You're perfect for it.
Yeah, like all my mates have got kids. I don't know why I'm still kidding myself.
But no, I know. My friend Rachel, she's in an advert. It comes on Channel 4, and the little stills at the end of Gogglebox, I think it is. And
yes, I've seen that ad. Is it Rachel Stubbins?
Yeah. But I still can't. I think she's not old enough to have those kids. But I'm like, I guess she is. She's 40. But to me, it's like, it's just like little Stubbins, isn't it? It's like, no.
Yeah, but it's true. Yeah. So Teddy, he's meant to be 10, and sort of Terri's meant to be late 30s, early. Well, my age, I suppose. So.
Is she? Oh, yeah, I was going to ask that. Yeah, she meant to be. So, and is there any particular reason why they've just had the one child, or is that sort of...
that's something we've never really discussed. But, yeah, I guess they like their life, Terri and Gary, and I feel like somewhere along the line Teddy happened by accident, then they added...
Do you?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so, because they loved a bit of clubbing back in their days, and they really love each other and they're the best of mates. But then I don't know, maybe I don't know. We've never really discussed it. It's funny that, isn't it? I feel like I could be a better actor and discuss the backstory.
No,
and Gary's reasoning for only having one kid, but maybe they just money as well. Who knows?
Yeah, I think it seems to me like, she likes her luxury. She likes, and like you say, they do, are they still meant to be in Essex, or?
It's meant to, no, it's, a lot of people think it's Essex. No, it's just meant to be a place in suburban London.
Yeah, generic kind of southeast.
Yeah, Surrey, that we'd all kind of, grew up in. We all know that town, that suburb, and it's not meant to have it's definitely not like, that's Essex, not at all.
Yeah, no, but yeah, she comes across like she just, they like their life and they've had.
Yeah, and Terri's a bit like Del Boy. She's always got something on the go. She's always trying out a new bar, or she's got this on the go, and I think she likes her life, and maybe the one was enough. I remember when my sister, she's got 2 kids and they are 10, 11 years apart. And my sister, when she had the eldest, said, that's it, I'm done. That was horrific. I'm never having another baby. And then, lo and behold, 10 years later, she got up the duff and that was it. She was like, I think, we were so surprised. We were so surprised. Who knows? Maybe Terri and Gary might have another one. Who knows?
Oh, well, yeah, there's another storyline. It'd be like,
there you go.
I could see
it. Us well through to 10 series, couldn't it?
There you go, yeah.
Like in, what's it called? Modern
Family.
Modern Family, where she has a baby later on, doesn't she? But there's a lot of comedy to be had there.
I love Modern Family. It's so brilliant watching those kids grow up as well. They're all like mini adults now, aren't they?
Yeah, there's some. Would you say, I don't know if there's any sort of, I've got any favourite mums though in that, really. I guess
I quite like, is it Gloria?
Gloria, yeah.
Yeah.
She's quite a fun mum, right? She'd be a fun mum to have. She's got your back. She'd be down the school having a word with the bullies, wouldn't she?
Well, I mean, the thing is, Manny is just so bright, and he's just bright as a button, isn't he? And just clever. So she's got to be, and she raised him, right? So she's got to be a great mum, I think.
Yeah. And she's raised him on her own, really, isn't she? Although he's been a part of, God, I can't remember the dad's name. The stepdad's name. His name now.
Mitch.
Mitch.
No, that's the brother, isn't it?
That's the brother. But we all know who we mean.
So, but I don't think, sorry, just going back to Terri, would you say she's not, maybe not, I don't want to put words in the thing, a naturally maternal mum, particularly, or do you think it's just that she's got so, like you said, she's got so much going on that it's, because I love the tender moment that she had in the Christmas special, where she talked, and I was like, I think that's one of the first times I've seen her have a real tender moment with them.
Yeah, I think there's more to explore with all of that, and it's hard to say at this stage, having only done like one series.
Well, exactly, it's nothing, isn't it?
And it was so lovely to have that hearty moment with Riley, who plays Teddy. He's such a lovely little actor. And he, in that scene where the little touching scene that we have in the Christmas special, I think it really sort of whet the appetite to have more of that throughout. So I feel like we'll see more of that side of Terri. I certainly hope so anyway, moving forward, because I think she's had to learn how to be, like, I think if Teddy was a girl, I think there'd be some trouble with him probably being like Bezzy mates, but because he's a boy, he's a little prince, and I think she's the biggest champion of him. But yeah, I think she's like, maybe it don't come totally natural, but she tries her best, like I said.
Yeah. I suppose. Oh no, but she's got, that was what was lovely. She's got his back, and that's all that, that's all that matters. But she's got, like, that's why she does remind me of a lot of Essex mums. She's got a lot going on and stuff. So what about yourself then? Have you got any favourite TV mums? You can have a couple.
I was having to think about this. I mean, I actually, at the minute I knew I had to think about that, I just immediately thought of Barbra Royal from the Royal family.
Of course, no one's chose her.
Like, for me, like, it was instant when you'd said, have a little think about who your favourite
was
TV.
It? Okay.
Yeah, it really was. I'm a huge fan of the Royal family. I'd watch it over and over again. I remember it just changing everything for me when I first watched it. And for me, Barbara was one of the closest things I'd ever seen to like what felt like a real mum that I would know or recognise in my life growing up as a working class kid. And
right.
Felt like you're just watching a real comedy mum, and I hadn't seen them. You always see exaggerated versions of the eye-rolling mum or the, in all of those sitcoms, and it just felt real. Just felt like someone I recognised in my own upbringing.
And Sue Johnson, she's just an amazing actress, right? She's just brilliant. I mean, I've said before on this that I think she carries it, right? I think she's the most important.
100%.
She's the actress that they all pivot around,
Yeah, I totally agree, and how she embodies Barbra Royal as well. I mean, all of them, they're superb, but you're right, she holds it all together, and she's like such a lovely mum as well. She does them all. She runs around for all of them.
Oh God!
And they're all just sat there, the ashtrays. I mean, it might not be the tidiest of houses. Might have all grease splattered up the back of the wall near the kitchen hob, but she's a good mum.
But she's run ragged. That's what I mean. If it's not spotless, it's because she's doing everything.
I know. I love how she's just always in a legging.
Yeah.
And she just dotes on Denise and what's Ralph Little's character's name?
Anthony.
Yeah, and she just, and also her relationship. I mean, I'll never ever get over that Nana episode. where Nana dies, and
brilliant, absolutely
and that
brilliant
moment with Sue Johnson and her, and just seeing her lose her mum, Matt, just so beautiful. They knew how to do it. They really did. Like it was just the way they could pull on your heartstrings, and just beautiful. I love it. I watched one of the Christmas specials recently, actually, because I just adored it. It was the one where Denise goes into labour at the end of the episode. That's a Christmas special, one of those.
Oh yes, and they're in that's lovely. She's
and
in
they're
the
sat
toilet
on the bathroom floor, aren't they? And they
with
just
her
have
dad.
such a genuine, lovely moment. Yeah. So she's up there for me.
You're listening to the Funny Mummies podcast, the mum meetup you don't have to get dressed for.
Sue Johnson.
That is a very, very good choice. And I think, thinking about it now, I think when I watched that, I was like, oh, that's the first time I've seen someone similar to my mum or my aunties. That getting up and down all the time when everyone else is sat on their arse. And I just think of her saying, I think I've got some penguins.
And just it's constant, isn't it? There's a little lull in conversation, and she says, I've got, do anyone want a snowball? And my mum's like that, a little lull in the conversation. I've got some mini magnums, it's constant. It's feeders.
Yes.
And a cheerleader as well, like as you were saying about someone else earlier, just an absolute cheerleader, like, what do you have for your tea? And impressed about everything, Yeah.
Oh, and how did you make that then? Yeah, so brilliant.
Yeah. Well, I think Terri is a bit of a cheerleader as well. I mean, she, like you said in interviews before, like she desperately wants to be liked by everyone, doesn't she? But so in the same way, that what's nice about that is that she's just so nice at making people feel nice, isn't she?
Yeah, that's all Terri wants, really. She just wants to have a decent best mate and be liked. Like you said, she's got that love from Gary and Teddy, and she hasn't got a good relationship with her mum or dad.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Maybe that's sort of where it comes from, not being able to be that maternal with
Yeah, she doesn't. She's learning it, isn't she?
Yeah, learning it.
And Denise, who is played by Camille Coduri, plays Gary's mum. Denise is a bit cold as well. So even sort of, her mother-in-law isn't like, very hugely maternal either. So yeah, I think Terri's had to learn it for herself. And also, she's not come from a lot of money at all. So she definitely tries too hard to impress sometimes, and that's when brilliant comedy happens, when she's meeting up with the people that are a bit posher up the hill or whatever.
And I know this is given away, but it's not a massive plot. I think I'm allowed to give it away when her mother-in-law is stealing the plates in the when they go to the golfing, sort of like a golfing world.
We go to it's called Putt Shack. It's actually we filmed it, the one in Shepherd's Bush.
Oh, it's real. Okay.
Yeah, it's real. Oh my God, it's real. And so it's like a mini golf. And me and Denise, or Terri and Denise, are sat at the bar, and she starts sort of putting all the nice crockery in her bag. And she goes around stealing all these plates till she gets a set, and then she gets caught at the end. Have you ever done that? Have you ever?
But my sisters, both my sisters have done it. They've done it.
Okay.
It's normally with them, it's glasses. Oh, I couldn't believe it the first time. I said to my other sister, Trace, I like this gin and tonic glass. And then they got so drunk, they just stole one each. And then the next time they made these jokes like, better be careful. This one might be finding its way in my bag. And I was like, I have to live it. It's always at my local pub. I'm like, do you know I don't have to live here? No.
Isn't it ashtrays, like branded ashtrays?
I used to do ashtrays.
But some of them are like I don't know. It's like everyone smoked. It's like like a nice Carlsberg one or something. So nice branded ashtray. Yeah.
I once had this gin and tonic that cost about 16 quid, and I was furious about it. And so I took the glass. I thought, right. It cost me 16. I'll have the glass. That's a nice glass. But then needed another one, because obviously if I have guests over, I've got to have two of them at least.
You don't want to be the dick with one flash glass.
I love that. I love the idea of I'm getting my money's worth, so I'm nicking the glass as well.
Outrage, like I was owed it.
Yeah.
Unreal. Yeah, mad, isn't it?
And I will say, not to name drop, one time I did nick one glass, and it was because, and I won't tell the whole story, I'm sure it's on many other podcasts, of when I almost met Morrissey, and he was drinking, I think it was gin and tonic, and we were sort of in a private thing, so I could have gone up and speak to him, but you're not. You kind of got to wait to be introduced to Morrissey. So he was like 2 meters away the whole night, and then eventually it was like, no, I'm not going up. And then my friend was going to introduce us, and eventually she said, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to introduce you tonight. And I was like, phew, I'm really pleased, because I'll just say something stupid. And then then we just went and stole his glass.
Oh my God.
I just licked around the rim of it, Back in the days before we all know he was a bit of
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
I know, sad. I was a massive, massive fan. Let's not go into that. It's like a grief I've had to go through. So yeah, I was going to ask you about what sort of mum your mum is, but you and you touch upon it a bit on your podcast with Susie Ruffle, which I just bloody loved that interview, by the way. Just to recommend another podcast people can listen to out. But you talk about her a bit on there, but yeah. And so did you say that, so she's a bit similar to your mum, to royal family mum, did you say?
Yeah, I mean, I say similar. No, I mean, my mum's actually a little bit more like, I would say, if I had to compare her to any TV mum, it would be Pam Shipman from Gavin and Stacey. She's a bit more, she's got the Alison Steadmans about her. She's, my mum's house looks like something out of a Next catalogue. Everything's got a place, and, when people come around, they're frightened to sit on the settee because, she's got scattered cushions everywhere. Like, she's really clean, my mum. So not like Barbara in that sense, but my mum's brilliant. But my mum's funny, and I think she's more, probably now thinking about it, more like Pam. But I think I think just the working class thing struck a chord, actually, with the Barbra Royal thing. But my mum's amazing. She's very funny, very camp.
Where did you grow up, Laura?
I grew up in Hounslow, in West London. And then. I've sort of been in South London for most of my adult life, but went to sort of drama school. So I grew up in Hounslow, really, which is kind of a sort of near Heathrow.
End of the Piccadilly line,
no one's really been there. There's not much going on there. But my mum and all my family grew up Shepherd's Bush, Notting Hill.
Yeah.
So
But so, I was going to say, you're just picking all my favourites as well, because I think when we were saying our favourites, Pam was, I think.
Oh, she's up there, right?
When we were saying, when we were talking about what sort of mums, we'd like to have if we didn't have our mum. That's another question for you. And I think Pam was one for me. Not that she's, in some ways, her warmness is similar to my mum, but just that. Just adaptable hostness,
and sense of fun, like she's got a sense of fun about her still. I mean, if you bowled up into her house and that was your mother-in-law, you'd think, I'm gonna have a nice time here once she likes me.
Yes.
Let's get her on side, because you wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of Pam either, I don't think.
No. And the sun shines out of the sun shines out of her son's backside as well.
Exactly.
So, you have to.
Tough one. Tough one. But my mum's a very funny lady, very warm, very quick-witted. A lot of I grew up with very strong women. Like my nan was like my biggest comedy hero, really. And my mum's super funny. She's camp. So she's got that campness that Alison Steadman has, which is why I say Pam. But then she runs ragged like Christmas, like Barbra Royal. Except she ain't got, a dirty cooker.
I bet she used to have plastic on her sofas at one point back in the day.
I bet if she could, she would.
My auntie used to. And I think now it's like, obviously not so acceptable, but my auntie would, because you'd sit down, because what she'd do is then put like some kind of throw over that, and you'd sit down and you go,
slide
auntie,
off.
Why, this is so uncomfortable. It's not meant for you to be sitting down.
I'll ring my stepdad and he'll say, "Oh, your mum's just cleaning, and it's she cleaned on Tuesday. It's now Saturday, and it's just been us two."
Wow.
She just cleans all the time.
Has she got a Vax? Does she own a Vax? I think that's someone who's proper into cleaning.
She's got a Dyson, one on the wall.
That's proper into cleaning, wireless. Gemma. Dyson
wireless.
Yes, on the wall.
Yeah, and she can get a stain out of anything. It's wonderful. Yeah. It's quite remarkable watching her get a stain out of something. You think you ain't getting that out, and that's it, gone, seconds.
I've got to ask her many questions about stains.
She said when we spilt something on a carpet, I can't remember, it wasn't like red wine or anything, but it could have stained, and she just came in with a tea towel, dabbed it, and said that's what you need to do first. You dab the stain out, and then if it still looks like it's not going to come out, then you go on with a little bit of fairy liquid and you rub it out and it's gone. You don't need all of the other stuff, the Vanish and whatever. She thinks it's rubbish.
I have been reading it. Look, now we're just giving you bloody life hacks.
It's like
now.
Kim and Aggie.
Yeah, we turned into Kim and Aggie, and I could go on and on.
Cleaning again. You always get on cleaning, don't you?
We get on to cleaning. Well, we get on to...
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, having a cleaner. It's normally cleaners, because me and Gemma used to have a big working class guilt about having a cleaner. That's where it comes from. And then we realised we've got to get over it.
That's a conversation I'd like to have with you another time about that.
Is it? Okay. When we stop recording.
Because it's an interesting topic, isn't it, for working class people to have cleaners. It's something I struggle with all the time. I don't have a cleaner.
You have one? You don't?
No, but I've thought about it, and then I think, don't be silly, Laura.
And because of...
there's a number of reasons. I always think people want to burgle my house and things like that. So I just think I don't trust anyone. They might cut so just like, paranoid. But also then might not do it as well as me. And then I just get the irrits all the time going, she ain't done that right. He ain't done that. Or, she or he, I don't know what the cleaners are. But and then there's part of me going, you're working class. How can you turn around to your brother and sister and say you've got a cleaner?
Really?
I don't know. It's all the things that I think about.
I always say before lockdown and stuff, we had one only fortnightly. Say fortnightly. She just does the bulk. She just does the bulk. And if I
don't want to do.
Yeah, I would mention, if I mentioned it to my sisters, I would say, it's just every now and again, and it happened when I had, because when I was pregnant and I couldn't bend down, I was sort of making these excuses, and then me and Gemma just sort of resolved it one day. We went, it's just because it's something that we can actually do, whereas any other job, it's no problem getting in a plumber or whatever, but this is something we can do. But we have to get over it because we're creatives, and especially now.
Yeah, and you've got kids as well, so you've barely got time to have a shower, have you? Let alone Hoover and whatever else you need to do.
Yeah. So. Oh God! But we've had long conversations because of the many cleaners that I've gone through, and that is I think I should do a podcast called Cleaners Guilt, and that would be it.
Get some cleaners on, see if they turn up.
They won't turn up, because that's the other thing I had. I bet 3 that just didn't turn up. Oh, Jesus Christ, what's going on?
Oh wow!
One's not turning up on they'll come once and then they won't come the next time. One time a woman turned up, the second time with a husband, and I just wasn't comfortable with that. I was like, who is this guy? She was like, he's just come to help me, and it was just weird. Anyway, then we talked about one I had for one. All I could hear was her sighing downstairs, and I was like, this is just so depressing.
You're shouting from upstairs, is it that bad, is it?
I do this thing where I go, do you want the radio on? You can have the radio on.
Oh, that's funny.
Is there any mums that you'd like to play, Laura? Any mums either existing, that you wish you could play, or maybe one that doesn't exist yet? Maybe.
That's a good question. I think. I would love to. I'd love to play. Well, I feel like I'm sort of doing it really. Maybe more in a drama context and not comical one, so a bit more grit about it. I'm always drawn to working class characters, but I don't always believe that the working class should be portrayed in a in a bleak way all the time.
Yeah.
And often a lot of sort of TV, say people that play mums in dramas that are working class tend to have that sort of bleak side to it. So it'd be nice. That's why I say, coming back to Barbra Royal, just seeing a working class family that is that they're happy. They're happy with their lot, and they're happy with each other, and there's no bleakness about it. It was a little bit dark, wasn't it? I think. I don't know. I wouldn't say I've got something in my mind that, oh yes, I definitely want to play that sort of mum. It was quite special though doing with King Gary, because I'd never. I mean, obviously it's a huge part for me, and it's a nice break for me. But seeing Teddy for the first time when Tom said, "Oh, we've cast Riley. Do you want to see a picture of him?" And when he sent this picture, I could not, but it was literally the love child of Tom and I. Like,
yes.
So he's got my colouring, Tom's round sort of features. And if Tom and I had a child, he would look like Riley. And it was so weird because actually he looks like my nephew as well.
Oh, right.
Every time we have little scenes together, I feel so maternal with him. And I'm always giving him a cuddle, obviously pre-COVID, giving him cuddle on set, because you do really start to take on that role. And I sort of feel like for now that the role of Terri is exactly the sort of TV mum I'd want to play without being cheesy and cliche.
Yeah, we had Michelle de Swart on, and she's not a mum in real life, but she plays a mum in The Duchess, and she said the same about how it's weird. Like, she has 3 kids, I think. Yeah, I've forgotten now. It doesn't seem like so many, but she was like, it's just so weird that they do start coming up and asking you things like, can you get me this?
Always asking advice, and he, like, bless him, really looks up to Tom and stuff, and he's just adorable. He's a bright little button as well. But yeah, you start sort of going, right, are you all right? Do you need a drink? Looking after him. Yeah.
Did he go Pauline Quirk though? Did he go Pauline Quirk Academy?
Did he?
He didn't need to go Pauline Quirk. He's got it going on.
Right. Well, we're nearly out of blooming time. So I'm going to end on. I'm going to do something a little bit different. If I could give you a COVID-free time tunnel for one night, where would you go and who would you go with, Laura? You can have a moment.
Yeah, so I'd get to go, and how long would I get?
You can have the whole night.
Oh, I'd have to go and see my nan. Sorry, that I should think of something really funny, shouldn't I? But whenever I've had that question before, like, you could sit on a park bench with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be? And it would always be my nan, always. Yeah.
Oh.
And we'd have a dance. My nan was she was really gregarious, and I think we'd have a dance. I'd go to the cricket club where me and my family go. We still go there now, actually. Well, not at the moment, but it's where we all gather on New Year's Eve, and we get down there as much as we can. But I'd get down the cricket club and have a knees up with my nan. That's what I'd do.
Oh, how long? When did she die? When was it?
I lost my nan when I was 27. It was cancer. She went really quick, actually. So it was quite a real sort of, the rug was really pulled from under our feet. We weren't expecting it at all. So yeah, she was 81 when she went. But yeah, so she's been gone. Oh gosh, since 2007.
Yeah, another world.
Yeah. I often wonder what she'd think of today's goings-ons.
That's the thing. It's horrible for old people at the moment as well.
I know.
Imagine.
I know.
Sorry, no. Now I've ended on a. We're buoying it up with what you've got coming up.
Well, you got any work? You got any work on, Laura?
You got any work, Laura?
You're okay.
And for once I can say yes. Hey. Yeah, no, I've got a second series of King Gary we're going to start shooting.
Oh, you have? Oh, great.
Yeah, touch wood. It's so far so good. Because of obviously, we get regular checks and tests and whatever. It's easier to film than to sort of do any theatre work. So we're lucky that the TV world can sort of keep rolling, really, but it's complicated. It's like nailing jelly to a wall. It's really complicated, and it relies on everyone staying well. And so, yeah, touch wood, if all goes well, I've got that coming up. And then hopefully at some point this year as well, In My Skin second series. I don't know do you know In My Skin? It was a Welsh, it was a BBC. The first series was out on BBC, and it's sort of a coming of age story about a young girl.
No, I don't, but I'm going to check it out.
I play her PE teacher.
Oh.
And I do a Welsh accent. So.
Do you?
Yeah.
There was me doing my Welsh accent earlier. Now I've led me embarrassed.
Oh, were you? Oh, I didn't realise. But if you, mine ain't that great either. So
I thought mine was quite good actually. It's not bad because Welsh is really hard, isn't it? It's a real hard one.
Really hard, yeah.
But I lived with my Welsh friend for about 3 years, so I felt like I nailed it quite easily. Yeah. But
oh, that's funny.
But obviously not. Thank you very much for that.
No, I just don't recall you doing it. Stop talking now. So
I'm interested just quickly then, because I was thinking about, because I know, it's really hard to film. My friend was filming something that had a COVID test twice a week. It was a nightmare. Yeah. But are people going to be writing it in? Like, is COVID going to be written in, or?
I don't know. That was a big question, obviously, when we were doing the Christmas special. And I think the answer really is that I think people are sick of it, aren't they? And I think with things aging as well, if you go back to watch things in years to come, do we want to keep going over it and being reminded of this terrible time? So I think I don't know the answer to that moving ahead. No. Certainly in the Christmas special, it was sort of thought of to go, we'll sort of...
No, I think that was the right decision.
Yeah, mention that it's been a tough year, but, we want people to come and watch it and escape for half hour.
Yeah.
Just, every channel, you switch your phone on, any bit of social media, it's constant, isn't it? So I think TV needs to do its job now and just, let us escape for a little bit. Whether that be funny, drama, whatever, I don't want to watch something that's just constantly about COVID. For me, I want to stay for half hour, an hour, don't you?
So, going back in it, if we're going back to watch it, I mean, hopefully we will be over, let's just say this time next year. So let's say that we get to the 2-year mark of it being around. In 10 years' time, it'll be a spot on history, won't it?
Yeah.
Oh God, Gemma, I can't imagine that. Pray for that.
Who'd have thought back in March we'd still be sort of going in a year's time, hopefully, free of all this. It's mad, isn't it?
Mad, isn't it? Well, thank you so much for bookmarking the end of our TV Mum series, and we look forward to seeing more Terri and more of you on things. Thank you so much for joining us, Laura.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you. And I hope I get to see you soon. I forgot to say, the last time I saw you, we were watching a royal wedding, weren't we? Round Hannah's watching a certain royal wedding.
We were,
Yes, we were.
Yeah. Oh, that was ages ago, wasn't it?
That was blooming age. That's how long ago it was. Until we meet again at another royal wedding, thank you very much, Laura Checkley. And you've been listening to the Funny Mummies. Bye. You've been listening to the Funny Mummies podcast in association with The Other Woman Show with me, Hatty Ashdown. Thank you to Gemma Beagley and our guest today. Please see the write-up in this episode to find out how you can follow us and our guest online. This show is edited by Alex Holland, recorded via Zoom. The show also goes out on Thursdays on Soho Radio as part of the Other Woman Collective, where often you can hear the full music version of the show. If you'd like to support us and get lots of goodies like a video version where you can see our mugs, go to Funny Mummies on Patreon, where you can buy us a coffee or maybe an hour's childcare. Thanks very much for listening. Keep subscribing and telling your friends. It really, really does help. We'll see you next time for a dose of Mum and Tonic.